right here on the Real 1100 AM, asking everybody listening to tune in every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Get some of the best in business news, best interviews, celebrities, and a whole lot of fun. Tune in every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4, right here on the Real 1100 AM.
And now on to the main event.
First time I heard that name was in a Gucci Mane verse.
What? Gucci Mane?
No, not Gucci Mane, Tim.
Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane.
Oh, Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
Is it meant to say man? Is it like
M-A-N-E? Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane.
Oh, I don't know.
Main event. Catch us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11. Don't forget Wednesday, old school, new school on the main event.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. Patriot Software provides American businesses with easy, cloud-based, premium accounting software and full-service payroll for up to 100 employees. Business owners love the simplicity, the price, and our U.S.-based support. And accountants love the powerful capabilities. Check out our nearly perfect 5...
all on one app.
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the Real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
You are tuned into WWE AM 1100.
The following program is paid for by Influencer 365. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of this station, its management, or the Beasley Media Group.
Woo! And we are back right here on the number one rated business show. I am your host, KC Pride. You are listening to music from UNT the Boss. Woo! UNT the Boss. You will be able to see him performing live very, very soon. All over September. Oh, trust me, we about to put him to work. Just to get a few announcements out of the way, I got a jam-packed show for you today. I got my man, Hank Stewart. He is in the studio with me, and we're going to have a great conversation in a few minutes. But before we get started, if you are out in the Douglasville area, I told my barber today, if you are out in the Douglasville area, I do want you to go see my good friends over there at Studio 1211. Get you a nice lineup, a nice fresh cut. As you can see, my barber always take good care of me. And he said, if you come in and tell him KC Pride, say KC Pride sent you. Y'all ain't believe this. He said he gonna give you a free cut. All right. So if you're out in the Douglasville area, I want everybody to check out Studio 1211. Also, nominations have started for the top 25 most extraordinary Atlantans. I don't know if you guys remember this event back in 2019. Unfortunately, in 2020, we couldn't do it because of COVID. But in 2019, Lou Gossett, Killer Mike, Lisa Nicole, Cloud, Nancy Flake Johnson, Raymond Burr. I mean, we shut the town down. Gerald Durley, everybody and their mama was there. Rashad Richie. I mean, we had a great time, and we are coming back this year, December 9th, to celebrate 25 more of our most extraordinary Atlantans that have been making contributions in our communities and making contributions to us. Joining me in the studio. I'm telling you, I get so crunk when I get on air, you know, as it build up in you. I had to calm it down a little bit. But joining me in the studio today, it's very, very exciting to have this man here with me today. Mr. Hank Stewart, how we doing today, sir?
What's up, KC, man? Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, man, because I know this is a line to get in this show, bro.
It's getting that way, bro. I used to try to be humble about it. I don't know no more.
It's a line to get on here, man, so thank you for having me.
Well, Hank, I want to keep folks waiting because I know everybody excited to hear you, man. But tell everybody just a little bit about your background, a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a writer, a poet, an author. I have a youth foundation, and well, let me back up. Let me thank Praise also for setting this whole interview up. She's always looking out for not only for me but for the community. So I'm ever indebted to her pushing this interview.
Shout out Praise Jackson.
Praise,
she worked with everybody in Atlanta except for KC
so,
Pride. That's all right though.
So you're fortunate if you have her on your team.
Oh yeah.
So I'm a poet, I'm a writer, I'm an author. I'd like to say I'm an activist more than anything because you know, at the end of the day, what you stand for and what you fight for is who you will be and who you are. And so, you know, so I enjoy that. I have a youth foundation that I founded with Gwen Mason 15 years ago.
Wow.
This year I'm celebrating my 30th year as a poet, writer, and author. Wow. So I've been doing this for a while, man. Been doing this for a long time.
Now tell me this, because you know a lot of us, we grew up, we want to be rappers.
Okay.
What inspired you to want to use spoken word, a poetry or something like that?
KC, great question, bro. I was a manager at UPS on November 7, 1991. So I'm hitting my 30th year.
Okay.
And I came home that morning and kind of pedaled around my house, washed some clothes and, you know, did some stuff and went to sleep. And I was working third shift. I went to sleep, woke up around 5 o'clock, and I turned on the news, and the news was the news, Casey.
Wow.
Murder, carjacking, inflation, the typical things you hear in the news. Right. That was back in 1991, still happening. The weather came on. They were talking about floods and tornadoes in the Midwest. It was horrible. I'm a sports junkie. I like football, basketball, baseball, race car driving, hockey, soccer, tennis, golf. I love it all because I love the strategy of sports, right?
Okay.
But that day, Magic Johnson declared he was HIV positive.
I remember that day.
I had never, KC, seen the news so bad. And I just started writing, man. And I just wrote this little real simple piece, man. It says, Lord, there's times when nothing is going right. Lord, there's times I can't find anything good to talk about. Lord, there's times when I cry. I wonder, do you hear me? Lord, there's times I've fallen. And I wonder, did you see me? Can you hear me, Lord? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Just give me a sign. And very softly, he spoke to my heart. He told me about Calvary. And this is what he said. He said, Hank, do you know they slapped me across my face because I heard your cry? They pierced me in my side because I heard your cry. They spit on me because I heard your cry, and I died on a Friday because I heard your cry. But I rose on a Sunday, KD, because I heard your cry. Now, my child, you have it all simply because I heard your cry. KC, that was the first thing I ever wrote, man. So I started writing every single day after that, bro.
Wow,
every single day. Yeah, it changed my life, man. And so I was real fortunate, man. I had an opportunity, man, to perform for Miss Rosa Parks, man.
Wow,
the first poet to ever grace the main stage at the Essence Festival. Coca-Cola sent me there. Ingrid Saunders Jones. I did some McDonald's commercials, Fox 5, won me an Emmy all along the way. So it's
beautiful when they finally start paying attention to that.
Exactly. when they come to look for you.
Now tell me this, because one thing I mentor a lot of young men, and you know, one of the biggest things that I found, and one of the biggest things I've seen, you know, unfortunately, we all share such similar stories being black men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole I was harassed by the cops in my 17, being 17. The only thing I ever had to aspire to was to be a drug dealer, rapper, or a ball player, and this type of stuff. You know, how does that type of thing kind of weigh on you and through the message that you spread through your poetry?
Well, I mean, first of all, let me give you props, man. Anybody who's a mentor needs to be they need to be uplifted. So thank you for what you're doing, man. And let me just back up and tell your barber he did a great job because your cut is on.
I'm trying to
I don't
tell
think it's
you.
gonna work for me. I don't think it's gonna work for me, but you killed it. But look, I think anybody, there's a quote that says, you know, children are 20% of our population, but they're 100% of our future. And if we don't invest in that 20%, we'll have no 100%.
Amen.
And so the work that you're doing, the work that we try to do in the foundation, the work that so many people are doing, the only way you can touch tomorrow today, KD, is through children. Okay. If you invest in young people. So I had an opportunity, the Department of Juvenile Justice, man, had me to go around the entire state of Georgia, man, and speaking to every youth detention center in the state of Georgia, man. And I walked out of there, man, better than when I went in, just talking to the young people, because what I realized on so many occasions, our children have been misunderstood. Not every child behind those bars. Most of the kids are behind those bars shouldn't even be behind bars. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. That's exactly what it is. And so we failed them along the way. We did something that we should have done differently, or you know, the community didn't embrace them. Something happened. It's not their fault. And so, you know, again, I give big props to you.
It's beautiful you recognize that, because and it took me a long time to see this, because a lot of the speakers out here and the gurus of the day and age, you know, they'll tell you, you know, it doesn't matter your circumstances and all this type of stuff. And don't get me wrong, you do got to put your circumstances to the side and decide, look, this is me, this is who I want to be, and this is what I want. But in the same, bro, it's a lot different.
It is.
the greatest superhero in the world look just like you.
Exactly right.
And the biggest drug dealers just got all the money look just like me. That's a much different story, and that's a much different circumstance. So, no, man, I definitely.
Yeah, and I just think that it's all of our responsibility, though. Okay, Casey, it's all of our responsibility to embrace the community and embrace our children, love on our young ladies, man. Show them what I know you got, daughters, man, and show them what a real man looks like. Your daughter's first interaction with a male is with you. You know what I mean? And so we have to show up and show out in our own families. And so, and then when situations happen, not every black man has done something bad and he might be behind bars or might even be dead. Then the community needs to embrace them and make sure we take care of those young ladies and young men.
No, I'm with you, because we got this culture. Every time somebody mess up, you want to go demonize them. How you gonna tell me to get off drugs, but you want to sit here and point the finger at me and tell me how wrong I am, and I'm this in society, and then you're gonna tell me, but let us help you. You don't help me,
man. And a lot of us have history too. A lot of us have. Go back and find our history, our past. You know what I mean? We wasn't perfect back then either. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So now we want to be judgmental.
You're a hypocrite now, though.
Yeah, we want to be judgmental. So again. I love our young people. I'm working with a group right now that's called Bridging the Gap, Taking the Torch.
Oh man,
and
that's
basically
my guy KOK.
Yeah, and so one of the things that we talk about in Bridging the Gap, Taking the Torch with our young people, how do we bridge that gap? I had the luxury of sitting down, being a mentee of Reverend Cameron Madison Alexander, Dr. Joseph Lauer, Dr. C.T. Vivian, Congressman John Lewis, Mrs. Rita Salmon. I mean, those were I was in the paper. They made all of their stories, man, and I learned so much from them. And so I try to make sure that I regurgitate those stories with our young people right now, man, because I had the luxury of sitting down at their feet. A couple of weeks ago, I was in AJC because Dr. C.T. Vivian gave me a tie, and they were talking about all the people that he gave ties to, all of his mentees and things of that nature. So when I look back at the stories that I've had an opportunity to have and the relationships I had an opportunity to have with these people, it changed my life, bro.
Oh yeah.
And I had great parents too. So I started out having somebody in my family that was talking to me, but to grow up in the community and the community embrace you. Yeah, I'm who I am because of the community.
I love that, man. But no, we got to get back, because I'm just like you. I work a lot with the older generation. One of the biggest things, they always get tasked with this thing of y'all don't give back, or y'all not teaching. And I actually had a chance to call somebody on that. And matter of fact, it was Aaron Turpo. And sitting there, talking to him, he said, nobody taught us that we were supposed to be teachers and to do this. We saw what needed to be done, and we did it.
Yeah, and Aaron,
what do you think he's supposed to do?
Too. And Aaron Temple is a beast, man. I mean, he's a beast right now. Had his hand in a whole lot of things with a lot of the mayors and all that. He's a beast. And I've seen Aaron. I've had the luxury of, Mr. Turpo, been in the room with him and listen. And a lot of, Woody Allen says 95% of success is just showing up. Sometimes when you just in the room, man, if you just put people in the room, you're going to grow, right? If you could just get in the room, hearing things, you're going to grow.
Oh, yeah. I tell my clients all the time, 50 good days and you're going to be a millionaire.
Exactly right. Good days.
50 good days.
Good days.
Oh, yeah. So tell me a little bit about what else you're doing, man. You got all these events going on. You helping all these young folks, man.
Yeah, we just completed our biggest fundraiser of the year. It's the Stewart Foundation. My White Linen Fair is 20 years. We honored Tom Joyner this year and Susan Taylor, which was Raheem Devon was our entertainment this year. Our kids, we had some great sponsors. We're heading into the fall. We'll do our Hot Chocolate Fair, which is a fall version of the White Linen. It's more sexy, and it's a fundraiser for the foundation. We have the inauguration. We just elected officers for the Stewart Foundation. So our officers are now being sworn in. They get sworn in by a sitting judge. They've been sworn in by Justice Robert Benham, who sits on the Georgia Supreme Court justice. So we want them to go through that whole process. And our kids are between 8 and 18. So to have them go through that process, they really, it really empowers them, and it's their day. So we're working with some schools, Columbia Middle School, Bethune Middle School, Towers High School, Washington High School. So we got some great relationships that we work with our kids. So it's a lot happening.
That's the key point. Let's touch on that a little bit, because I think this is not expressed enough in business. How did you bring this about? Through what?
through relationships and mentorship, man. Relationships, mentorship is everything. And so I tell our young people all the time, networking is key. If you don't get out and meet some people, man, because a lot of our sponsorship dollars is not because we're doing such a great job. It's because we have relationships with the people that we're so seeking that money from. you hope that the job is being done, but it's relationships that
Oh, yeah.
bring those dollars in. And it's the relationship we have with Chick-fil-A, it's the relationship we have with UPS, it's the relationship, all these George Brooks and George Willis, those are relationships. And so, if we don't teach our children how to network, we're teaching them to fail. Because most of their success is going to come in who you get an opportunity to meet, who you're going to get an opportunity to know, and how you follow up with them and how you maintain a relationship with them.
Oh, yeah. Now, what do you hope, at the end of everything, when you kind of look back, what do you hope the outcome of all your work is?
Well, that's a hell of a question right there, Casey, because what you really hope is that wherever you were, you left some breadcrumbs for people to follow.
Oh, yeah.
You hope that children are better and they're speaking up and they're speaking out and they're involved in the political process. Voting is the most important right that you have. The right to vote is the one right that protects all rights. So you hope they're voting. You hope they're able to sustain themselves and to take care of their families. One of my favorite quotes is a quote by Stokely Carmichael. It said, "It is the responsibility of the conscious to make the unconscious conscious of their unconscious behavior."
Wow.
Let me say that again. It's the responsibility of the conscious to make the unconscious conscious of their conscious behavior. Let me break it down. It's the responsibility of those who get it to help those who don't get it, because those who don't get it don't realize they don't get it.
Wow.
That's what our responsibility is, Casey, is to help people get it.
Oh, yes.
So when it's all said and done, did Hank help me get it?
Amen. I think you can't ask for nothing else at the end.
Yeah. At the end of the day, man, did I help somebody? Are you better because I was in your circle? Are you in my circle? Are we any better? Is this world better? When it's all said and done, there was an article that I read, and I know we got to wrap it up. I know your time is getting short, but there was an article that I read not too long ago that says the average person gets 30,000 days in a lifetime, Casey.
Wow.
30,000 days. So I should have read that article and kept on moving, but I decided to do some math. And I divided 365 into 30,000, see how many years it was, and it was roughly 82. Wow. Right? Now, I really should have left it alone.
Put it in perspective.
Right, that put it really in perspective. So I turned 58 on Saturday. I'll be 58 years old this Saturday.
Okay.
So I multiplied 365 times 57 to get an idea of how many days I use, and I used over 20,000 of my days, Casey. Right. So now it's getting real scary.
The countdown getting real.
Getting real scary, right? So I subtracted 20,000 from the 30,000 that you could possibly have, and it was 9,000 some change days left.
Man.
Now I really should have left on. Then I divided 365 into 9,000 something change, and it said roughly 25 years. I could roughly have 25 years left in my life. Now I work out every single day. Today is my day, 1,706 straight workout days. I haven't missed a day since December 30, 2016. So I said, I work out every day. I'm gonna beat consistency. I'm gonna beat this 82. And then I remember, because Dr. Lowry, who was one of my mentors, he lived to be 98. Dr. Vivian was 95. My mom was living right now. She's 93. But my sister didn't make 60.
Wow.
Kobe Bryant didn't make 40, bro.
No.
His daughter Gianna didn't make 15. So what I realized, Casey, that I have more yesterdays than tomorrows, but I can't let nobody waste my time. I don't let people waste time. Time is the most valuable commodity.
You can waste my money these days.
You can waste my money. Exactly. Right. I can get another house. I can get another car, but don't waste my time.
Oh yeah.
That's why when Praise told me the time that I was supposed to be here, I was sitting in the parking lot because I ain't gonna waste KC's time. I'm gonna be here. I'm sitting in the lobby because time is important. We can't go back to the beginning of this interview. No matter how much money we got, can't get us back to the beginning of this interview.
Oh yeah.
It's done. It's gone. Time is gone. That time is gone.
Amen. If anybody wants to support you, man, they want to follow you, they want to get involved in your poetry, man, how can folks get around?
Real simple. It's Hank Stewart. If you Google Hank Stewart, you can hit my Instagram, my Facebook, my website, Hank Stewart, HankStewart. My website is hankstewart.net. I mean, just Google Hank Stewart, you'll see it, bro. And KC, man, let me just thank you for allowing me to be on here, man. This mean everything, man.
Bro, you made my day. You inspired me. You turned my whole day around. I promise.
No, well, hopefully for the better, bro.
Once again, you are listening to the one and only Hank Stewart. I am KC Pride. I'm your host. We will be back right here on the Real 1100 AM right after this.
Overground Railroad has promoted economic development in the Black community. Now more than ever is the time to come together and join this movement to economic freedom. The Overground Railroad online and print business directory puts you in front of your customers and keeps our dollars in the Black community. It's time. Become a member today. Information at overgroundrr.com. That's overgroundrr.com. Connecting our churches, our businesses, and our community. Join the Overground Railroad today.
Time to make a change. Hi, this is Dr. Williams with Align for Life Wellness. I want to invite you to our new office at 1800 Jonesboro Road in Atlanta. Come in for a consultation, examination, therapy, and x-ray, all for just $100.
What?
Yes, $100. This offer expires soon, so call us to schedule at 404-383-1110 or find us on the web at www.yourfinespine.com.
If you want to be fine, take care of your spine.
We're open late.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now.
You can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones,
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy.
From over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com.
Or your app store.
And we are back right here on the #1 rated business show. I'm your host, KC Pride. Single-handedly bringing back light-skinned men all over the nation.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord. I am sitting here right now with Miss Darby. She says she's so bad she even got a last name. Welcome to the program, Miss Darby. How you doing today?
Doing well. How about you, Casey?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm hanging in there.
That's good. I see you hanging.
Hey, that's right.
That's good. That's good.
Now, tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about what you got going on.
So, my name is Darby and CEO of BCA Culture.
Okay.
We have a business credit and funding software that my business partner Adam and I developed over the past year. Actually, today is our 1-year anniversary, and over the past year, we've gotten over 1,000 business owners, particularly minority business owners, funded.
Wow.
And we funded over $50 million in business credit and also as general funding as well.
Okay. Now tell me this, because I love the emphasis that you put on minority business owners. Because a lot of times for us, and a lot of folks don't understand this, and they think it's just a cop out or whatever. Why does it seem like on our side it's always so harder for us to get that type of, business credit and that type of thing?
Point blank, most people aren't prepared.
Okay.
So most people don't have the foundational steps together, aren't active, like having companies lined up, just making sure that you have those basics to prove that you are lending worthy or fundable.
Now, what are some of those basics? When you start saying, are you lending worthy? What are some of the basics that you're looking for?
So most minority businesses are operating like sole proprietors, which would be like, okay, let's say UKC, right? You, as an example, it's like you operating as yourself, but you don't necessarily have an entity that you can set it up in, like in a corporation or LLC or a C Corp or S Corp. So one of the biggest things where minorities missing the mark is that we don't necessarily have all of our paperwork lined up, such as having the Secretary of State, filing with your your Secretary of State, being listed as active in the Secretary of State. Some people have businesses, they've dissolved, they're no longer, active. Make sure that you have a business bank account. You'll be amazed at how many minority business owners just use, not to throw shade, but just use Cash App only or only use PayPal, but really they need depository accounts. So if you want to get a bank loan, you want to put it in a depository account, Now,
with this day and age now, a lot of these different, basically these transaction payers like PayPal and Square, other things like that.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of those are starting to kind of come on and become banks, and they're lending money and all kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Is that something that you know, entrepreneurs need to stay away from, or is that still kind of like the same as dealing with traditional banks?
Well, I would say this: you want to have a mix. You want to do traditional banks, and you also want to have like non-traditional banks and what we call creative financing.
Okay.
You know, you want to be able to utilize all of it, because let's just say that you do not get accepted through a traditional bank, then you have alternative lenders that you can go to, and now you're not stuck.
Okay. Now, one of the biggest things that, especially in the beginning, a lot of entrepreneurs complain about, or you know, a lot of us talk about, is that so much in the beginning when you start your business is on you. It's on your personal credit. You know, this type of thing. How do entrepreneurs and startups start to build that business credit?
So one of the things you want to separate, so you want to have a clear separation. The only two ways that you can build business credit is your personal credit or through your business credit.
Okay.
So first things first is that you want to separate and have a separate entity, then get that, you know, separate phone number, address, you know, making sure that you have those things lined up.
Okay.
Also make sure, again, you have a business bank account, make sure that you have an EIN number. That's how you begin to build business credit. And then if you don't want to use it under your personal credit, then you get you some net 30 vendor accounts and start, you know, setting up those accounts. Quill, Uline, you know.
Let's start right there now, because I keep with the trade accounts.
But no, I'm serious, because that's why I said
that was
that.
really still a good idea this day.
Yes,
We've been running that one for a minute.
No, it still is, because there's a lot of people who do not have personal credit built up.
Okay.
So there's only two ways to build it. If you don't have your personal credit, if you're looking at a 500 or 499, okay, I mean, do you know what I'm being real?
I'm with you.
You know, then the only way that you can do it is the net 30s and go that path and start building them up through the tiers. The thing is that most people don't do anything past the net 30. You got store cards that you can get past the net 30, Amazon cards you can get past the net 30, gas cards you can get past the net 30, real actual business line of credit cards that you can get past the net 30. So that way you're not just stuck right there. Now if they
hold on.
Okay.
Now, for some of my startups and some of my young entrepreneurs that might not understand exactly what you're talking about, please explain what the net 30 part is.
Okay, so this is why KC like, oh Lord, here we go with the net 30s. So the net 30 is when you can go to a vendor, you purchase a product. Well, actually, you set up your account through that vendor by using your EIN only, right? That you don't have to use your personal social security number.
Correct.
You purchase the product. Net 30 means you purchase it and then you have 30 days to make the payment. However, you know, we all teach pay early so you can get that paydex score. You want to at least have 3 to 5 experiences, okay, or showing your payment history so you can get that 80 paydex.
Wow.
Once you get that 80 paydex, then you can start going up the ranks, getting your store cards, getting Amazon, getting, you know, Shell gas card, getting Quick Trip. Like, you can start doing it, but it's in order to do it. Most people, if you've been in Atlanta for a long time, most people just stop at net 30 and don't do anything past that point.
Why is that?
Because they don't know.
Okay. I'm trying to help you get it out there.
That's why people come to BCA Culture, because we got it automated. I see what you did right there. Because we got it automated, you know, and most people just don't know. I mean, everybody knows somebody who's gotten tapped.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Either hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars to build your business or personal credit. You know what I mean? And so that's why we have the software, because it eliminates guesswork.
Okay.
And it literally is taking everything that I know through experience, through research and development, through study on, hey, these are the perfect vendors. These are who are active, because vendors are changing. COVID-19 came. A lot of these companies are not reporting anymore. Some of them. So you can
Why is that?
Well, some of them don't want to deal with the hassle of new companies.
Okay.
A lot of them, if you think like, you know, business owners that are building business credit, a lot of us in the beginning were trained, hey, go to Quill, go to Uline, go to Granger, go to these companies. You know what I'm saying? You're laughing, but it's the truth. But sometimes they don't want to deal with the startup, because guess what? A startup will leave a net 30 invoice open and won't pay it.
Yeah.
So it's up to them. They might decide, hey, we don't want to do it anymore. You know?
I laugh because you go to all these credit fixing folks, and that's the first one they try to put you on that Uline. I'm like, man.
And see, even they've changed since years ago. Uline used to just straight up give you a credit. Now you gotta purchase like 3 or 4 times before they give it to you, because startup businesses don't. It's good marketing for them. Hey, you're not making any money? Come to us and get your supplies. But on the backside, out of 100 people, you might have 50 of them who actually might pay on time.
Okay. Now, tell me this. You say you wrapped all this stuff into a software.
Correct.
Wow. Now, how does this software work? Is it like an AI interview, or is it just fill out an app? What happens?
Yeah, so it's a combination of both of what you just said.
Okay.
We do use artificial intelligence, and then Adam, he's our CTO.
Okay.
He's actually in charge of that. And pretty much what we've done is taken this knowledge. So there's 25 foundational business steps.
Okay.
Well, actually, we changed it. It's 24 now.
Okay.
Foundational steps that a company must have in order to even be fundable.
Get your line first.
No. Even before then, make sure your company is set up. You got to be set up because y'all out here trying to get, $100,000, and you only showing that is you that's doing the business, right? And a lot of people got exposed when all of the stuff with the funding came out, with the government funding. A lot of people begin to realize like, oh, I'm not in business.
Yeah. Real.
So the software literally takes them through the 24 steps. Some of the things I was saying, Secretary of State, phone number, make sure you got a business license, make sure you're active, all of those things. Then it takes you through the net 30. Then it automates you. We have partnerships with Dun & Bradstreet.
Okay.
We're partnered with Credit Safe, and we're partnered with Equifax. So we actually pull the reports. We pull your data in our software, and our software automatically unlocks. So as you go through the process, you can see exactly where you are.
Now, explain a company like Dun & Bradstreet for us. Because I argue with them all the time.
Oh,
I don't even know where they get my numbers from. Because I'm telling you,
you probably don't fill out something
online.
But looking for some funding. That's what he did.
But no, the thing is, like, where do they get this information from? Because a lot of businesses,
databases.
But where are they getting it? Like, because
multiple
a lot of
sources.
times it's inaccurate on a lot of folks. And then too, like, is it just anything that you pay for is just out there for it, or?
Yeah, so they're pulling from the Secretary of State, they're pulling from the courts, they're pulling from, if you've done like marketing, they have different partnerships. I'm not a representative. Let me put this out there. I'm not a representative of Dun & Bradstreet. This is just, education and research. You can always reach out to Dun & Bradstreet yourself.com. I want people, Darby said, but they pull it from a variety of resources. They have different data suppliers. Let me just say that. And you might have filled out something at the bank. They resell, they're always reselling our data.
Now tell me this. Is it something special about them, or can anybody start getting the data? Because I'm an entrepreneur myself. And I'm pretty slick when it comes to talking to folks.
God,
so I go to Bank of America and get me some info. So what does it take for me to give you a pride score? Okay, and that's gonna be everybody's credit score. What I gotta do?
So what does it take to be able to?
I'm just saying, y'all realize Equifax is a private company.
Correct.
Okay, everybody raise your hand. Don't get me wrong. I was like 25 years old before I realized Equifax wasn't the government.
That's
all
true.
right, I ain't the only one.
That's true.
He just figured out on the show.
Right.
See, it's all right.
It's okay. It's okay. That's why we having this open conversation.
Exactly. Everybody needs to know. But the point of what I'm saying is, what stops us from going to do the same thing?
Limited lack of resources, knowledge, and a lot of us as minorities are not in the credit game.
Okay.
We're like I would say at the street level, like hustling it. Hey, you want to get your credit repaired for $699.
Yeah, I know,
and then it stops right there. And then it's just the
them.
individual. You know what I'm saying? Those are the sole proprietors. But they don't have it set up like an Equifax, a company in a building, actually collecting data, building relationships. The real business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got to stop doing the hustle.
Okay.
I believe that when you're building your business, initially on, you're going to have that hustle naturally.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to set up a business.
You
know what I'm saying?
Baby. We can't be on this hustling no more.
Exactly. When you start reaching your 30s and even hell, when you in your mid 20s, you don't want to be hustling like that. Today you want to work smart, not hard.
I tell folks all the time, I built a lot of sandcastles in my life, and they was pretty. And they fell down just as pretty. When I took my time and built the foundation, Influence 365 still standing.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying.
No, that's good.
Lord have mercy.
So yeah, so that's what, in essence, that's what we're doing. We're collecting the data.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And most of us need to be in technology to do this. You know what I'm saying? Twitter collects data. Facebook collects data. These companies are grabbing your data.
Oh yeah. Now you also mentioned technology, because I argue with my child all the time. That's the future. You even see it. It's being implemented now. You're gonna go to McDonald's, but there's only gonna be nobody in there. You already don't got to talk to nobody. So as the future starts to roll forward, as we starting to see a lot of new stuff emerge, you can already see a lot of the normal jobs and this stuff being taken over by AI and this type of stuff. What's going to be those next industries that we need to really be paying attention to as this stuff starts to really come about? Because it's going to be a lot of folks out of work and stuff.
Artificial intelligence across all industries, from medical to hospitality,
even in marketing, we use it like crazy.
Like I mean, it's so that is definitely like a number one industry. Another industry to pay attention to is space.
Okay.
The technology. If you notice what Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk,
Exactly.
they're gravitating towards that. They're looking like engineering. Those are the type of things that, you know, we really should look into. And then anything digital, anything video, videographers, like y'all are going to be in demand because we're literally going to be living in a world where like people can set this up right here at home now.
Yeah.
You know, so to be able to televise, to be able to catch that.
You can't be the real 1100 at home though. Let me tell y'all podcasters out there. I love y'all.
Don't try it. This ain't for amateurs, right?
But we coming through 4K right now. A whole million, you know.
Hey.
But now I'm so glad because if we don't start building our businesses on the foundation and the backbone of technology, we're not gonna survive. Because these mom and pops, even to this day, you know, we still doing the same old stuff. And it's like there's even ways these little small stores we can capitalize and make y'all a whole lot more money.
Man, we got to work together. Like, you know, think about Marcus Garvey. They didn't have any type of social media.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And built the largest network of Black minority-owned businesses. You know what I'm saying? And they came together because it was communal. We could do the same thing in our communities.
Amen.
We can build up the same databases. We can do these things. We're like the largest, you know, consumer. So we can do this as a people.
Oh yeah. And I gotta be honest with you, we doing it.
Yeah.
That's what we are. I mean, we teaching entrepreneurship everywhere that we possibly can. We trying to promote this positive message and get all this destructive crap out of our neighborhoods and out of our communities. It's not cool to tear your stuff up and shoot up the block. That ain't cool, bro.
Yeah.
Let's build some skyscrapers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, look at the real estate that's happening in Atlanta right now.
Exactly. It's on fire.
Like a 1-bedroom condo downtown is like $4,000.
Oh
that's to get a decent one. What?
Exactly.
I remember when it was like $900. You look at $900, you're like, whoa,
you're on
that's
the
a lot of
outskirts
rent.
now. It used to be like out there on the west side in Douglasville, these type places.
Yeah.
3-bedroom single family homes, you talking about 150,000.
Yeah.
Now you talking 253, and you talking about regular house. We ain't talking about the hooked up stuff.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Like for real.
Like, yeah. No, you're right. So our market has changed. You got to just pay attention. A lot of big tech companies are coming to Atlanta. Media, movie, that's another industry that's, you know, definitely on the rise. Movies, media, creative entrepreneurs are the wave of the future. I don't care what anybody say. If you got a TikTok, work it. If you got a skill, work it because you're unique. What you about to say?
I got to get this one out here because I'm a creative too. I'm also an analytical person, but I am creative. One last thing before I let you go, answer this. In the creative world, you know, a lot of times these talented people a lot of times face the hardest challenge when you start talking about, you know, credit, trying to get funding, especially for like projects and stuff like that. Is there anything coming for the creative world, or how do these people face this challenge?
So one of the things that I always say is that if you've got a project that is strong enough, like that's convicting, right? So there's two ways you can go about it.
Okay.
If you're out here putting out your own project, then go all in. Put out your own content. We were literally just talking about that in the hallway. You know, go all in and put out your content and build your own platform, and people will come to you.
Okay.
You know, and then the second way, if you're going to go and ask people for money, then when in Rome, do as Romans do. You need to have a business plan. You got to have things outlined. You have to be very strategic. You have to, you know, show people the numbers. At the end of the day, people want to see the numbers. Show me the money. Okay. I don't care if you know how to act like somebody. Just show me the numbers. So if you can show people the numbers and how they're going to get it, then you can get investors. You can get, you know, creditors and others to look at you.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the one and only Miss Darby Alexander. I knew your last name. I was messing with you when you came in.
Whatever.
If anybody wants to get in contact with you, they want to support you, or just get some more information about you, how can folks get in with you?
Go to bcaculture.com. We're on Instagram at BCA Culture Live. And then my Instagram handle is @dominate_with_Darby.
bcaculture.com. I'm gonna come holler at y'all for real. We gotta do something together.
Yeah, we definitely do. We're doing it right now.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you. But I'm talking about some stuff gonna get some money going.
Okay. I got you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the #1 rated business show right here on the Real 1100 AM. I'm your host, Casey Pride. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, this is KC Pride, host of the #1 rated business show right here on the Real 1100 AM, asking everybody listening to tune in every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Get some of the best in business news, best interviews, celebrities, and a whole lot of fun. Tune in every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4, right here on the Real 1100 AM.
Or just 6. The staff here at Real 1100 AM would like to encourage you to social distance yourselves. While you may feel disconnected, you can always connect with us at real1100.com. So remain at a safe distance. Call, text, or email a friend and tell them to join you at real1100.com.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now,
You can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones.
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy.
From over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com.
Or your app store.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. himself said it best.
Collectively, that means all of us together. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world, with the exception of 9. You ever think about that? American Negro collectively is richer than most nations of the world. That's power right there, if we know how to prove it.
And we know how to pool it. Join the journey for economic freedom for the Black community. The Overground Railroad. Visit overgroundrr.com.
That is music from UNT The Boss. You'll be able to catch the live later on this year. We will be releasing that in studio with me back here, right here on the #1 rated business show, Miss Monica Bay.
Yes.
She says she is a energy healer and a mystic guru. There we go. All right. How are you doing today, Miss Bay?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I need some healing myself. So tell me a little bit about energy healing. What is that?
So, energy healing is a way to heal people on the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual levels.
Wow. Okay.
So, it's pretty much all of you.
Okay. Wow.
And I'm a natural born healer. I've always been able to heal people since I was a child. And
Okay.
I kind of stepped into that. And here I am.
Now, is it one of those type of things? It's like you kind of noticed at some point in your life you had a gift and you were seeing things. And I'm gonna tell you something in a minute. But is it that type of thing, or is it you just kind of noticed people had a certain reaction to you? Like, how did you know you even had any type of gift?
Well, when I was really, really young, I just noticed that I could easily heal myself of things. So,
Wow.
for instance, if I had a headache, I could easily make it go away.
Okay.
I noticed that people were improved
Wow.
when I touched them and things like that. But it's something I also developed. And, when I became a teenager, I started to actually work on it
Okay.
and start to develop it and understand it more. I'm also a natural psychic medium.
Wow.
So, so all of these gifts that I have, I just kind of really have developed over a long period of time. We won't talk about how old I am, but
I ain't gonna tell you how old I am either. Just tell you I'm cute.
Right.
But no, seriously. Because and I'll tell you, sir, I was walking through the house one day, and my youngest, she's 9 years old, and she said, "Daddy, you glowing blue." And I said, "What?" I said, "Hold on, tell me that one more time." And she said, "Daddy, I see blue around you." I said, how often do you see this? She said, "I see it sometimes." She said, "It's not always blue, but you blue right now."
Mhm.
And I knew what it was because I've had a
Yeah.
psychic reading before, and somebody, told me about auras and this type of stuff. But it was just that simple fact and that notice. And then she started talking about she saw it around her friends and the pink and this type of stuff. So like having a child like this, how do you start to nurture that to where it doesn't become and in yourself, how did you nurture that to where it didn't become a ego thing? It became a heart thing.
Well, I think the most important thing for any parent that has a child, I call those spiritual gifts.
Okay.
So any child with spiritual gift, the most important thing is to not banish it,
Okay.
not to tell them that they're making things up. Support them in what they and what their ability is, and then help them dive deeper into it to really understand it. And then once they start to do that, they can start to own it, and it's not this kind of weird thing that they're afraid of. Because in the energy healing that I do, I get a lot of clients because I also help people develop spiritual gifts.
Okay.
So I actually get a lot of clients who have gifts that have been afraid of it their whole entire life. And some of it is because, society kind of makes them feel weird.
They're gonna tell you you're crazy.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna tell you you're crazy.
And then also they don't understand it. So they get afraid of it, especially if they see spirits. But there's nothing
What
scary
is it,
about that.
Because it's so hard this day and age. Number one, you got so many fakers. And then number
That's
two,
true.
it's hard to discount what anybody goes through.
Right.
It's hard to say you didn't see that or this didn't happen.
Right.
How do you know when you're having these type of encounters? Like, I know I've had times where, for instance, my father passed away when I was 20. And literally, it was 5 o'clock in the morning. And before they even called me and told me he had passed, I felt someone literally rub me on the back of my shoulder, and that was it. But I knew he had passed.
Yeah.
Those type of situations, I understand, and this type of stuff, right when someone passes it and this. But like, how do you see this? Like, how do you help somebody deal with that and say, oh no, you are actually experiencing this, I guess?
Yeah, well, it's one to get them to realize that it's real. It's not
Okay.
in their head, but also to get them to understand that everyone has these gifts.
Okay.
Actually, everyone has the ability. Most people it's just on a very subtle level, and some
Okay.
people like me are born with it more heightened.
Okay.
But everyone has the ability to actually develop those gifts.
Wow.
And so everyone has the ability to speak to their loved ones still that have passed and all of that. And I actually do help people who don't feel that they naturally have that ability. I help them train their spirit to have that ability, if that makes sense.
It's funny. In my 30s, I went through a big spiritual thing, and you either gonna really, really be a human, or you really, really gonna be a being. You gonna have to decide. For me, the being part was a whole lot better. He make a lot more money, but I let the human thing go a long time. But no, it's serious because a lot of times what ends up happening is the base things that you desire through the body that really
Yeah.
pulls you into humanity and takes you out of that spiritual.
Yes.
But how do you teach people? Because we're in this period, a lot of people are starting to awaken.
Oh, yes, they
Everybody's
are.
talking about angel numbers and stuff, and people are starting to recognize. But I think a lot of people are still kind of looking for, okay, what's really going on?
Yeah.
How do you help people deal with that?
Well, it first starts with going within
Okay.
and discovering what your gifts are.
Okay.
Because everyone has different gifts. Again, everyone has psychic ability. Everyone has ability to connect with things that are unseen. But most people, the people that are coming out saying like I have gifts, those are the ones where it's more heightened. So I start with helping people go within to really determine what their spiritual gifts are.
Okay.
But the first thing before you can even actually do that is healing. That's why that's where the energy healing comes in.
Okay.
Because if you have traumas, if you have negative energy that lies within you and that's kind of stuck within you, it creates blockages, and those blockages are to your energy pathways. If your energy pathways are not clear, you will not be able to really access your gifts.
Now that is so amazing because I also have clients as chiropractors, and that's another big thing about
Yeah.
what they do
Yeah.
is opening up those energy pathways because when
Mhm.
that information or that energy is blocked, you can't flow properly. Is that something that kind of goes along line with the spirit, like the mind,
It
the body,
is.
and the soul all needs to be
Right.
within?
And that's why we say holistic approach, because it's really all of you.
Wow.
We are a physical being. We are a spiritual being. We have an energy body that is a mental body, a spiritual body, and an emotional body. 3 different things,
Wow.
all wrapped up in one. And when we go through life, things happen. I like to use an analogy like this. So, imagine going through your entire life wearing the same white t-shirt, never washing it.
Mm.
That's what most people's energy is
Probably look like this black one by now.
right. That'd be pretty nasty, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's what most people's energy is like, because they've never really cleaned out their energy system.
Wow.
And the dirt is analogous to every little thing that happens in our life that bruises us, that, you know, when people betray us, when we get disappointed, when we have traumas, all of those things are specks of dirt on our white t-shirt.
Now, how do you begin that process? Is it acknowledging it? Is it forgiving? What does that process look like to start to clean your energy?
Well, you have to actually tap into the energy itself.
Okay.
So sometimes you can do that only if it's very mild. Sometimes you can do that just through a process of kind of psychologically understanding it and acknowledging it and releasing it.
Okay.
But if it's been there for a long time, you have to really dive deep in there and do some spiritual surgery. And that's what I do for people.
Wow.
So I just wipe it out.
Now, is this something like, is it a talking through like therapy type deal, or is it a more exercise type? Like what is it?
No, so when I heal people, I actually do all the work. So I facilitate what's necessary for their body to continue to do the work afterwards. But what I do is I use my psychic ability.
Okay.
I'm also a medical intuitive, so I can look inside people's bodies and see what's really going on a biological standpoint as well. And so, as well as their energy. So when I tap into someone's energy system, when I'm healing them, I can see everything that they're holding on to.
So you over here just looking through me right now. I feel so naked. Like for real. I really feel like you just over here looking straight to myself. You look that way. I'm tearing about my bed. Okay.
I won't put you on blast. Don't worry.
Oh my goodness. So when you start this process now, you said you do the initial work. Now, is this something that is this a lifestyle, or is this just a period that we need to go through?
Well, it's both actually.
Okay.
So it's a period that you need to go through in order to get to the point where you heal. Like what I do is I press the reset button.
Okay.
So again, it's the white t-shirt analogy. I put you through the washing machine.
Oh,
now
okay.
you're set. Now
I
you're
just take
set.
the
You're
shirt off.
clean. I mean, well, that too. but you know, now you're clean. Once I'm done with you, you're clean.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean life's not going to continue to happen.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, you're still going to need to learn how to maintain your own energy system, learn how to make sure that you never end up back into a space where you need such a deep healing.
Wow.
So that's what I teach people as well.
I got 40 years of some stuff. You know, you can work me out. Okay. That'd be a good testimonial for you.
Right.
So meditation is another big thing now.
Mhm.
You got, you know, calmness, all these other things, you know, blowing up. Mental health is really, really in the forefront of everybody's minds nowadays. How does that come into play as far as, you know, you start talking about energy healing and that inner spiritual being?
Well, I force all of my clients and friends and family, everyone I meet, to meditate.
Okay.
Because meditation is extremely important. It'll literally change your life. 5 minutes a day will change your life.
Really?
Every day. If you do 5 minutes a day, every day, it will literally change your life. And it's because it allows you to go within. And if you don't know yourself, how can you possibly move through this life and step into your greatness? You don't even know what your greatness is.
Wow.
But going within is a way to understand that, but also a way to practice self-healing as well. And so meditation, as you know, just has so many positive implications. It helps you focus. It helps you. It just changes your entire life. That's the best way I can describe it.
Now, I'm a huge fan of Alan Watts, and I follow a lot of his you know, philosophies and stuff like that when it comes to meditation.
Mhm.
How do you teach people to meditate?
Well, I like to teach people their own methods.
Okay.
So there are a lot of standard methods of meditation out there, but my belief is that the way, because I'm very in tune with with people's spiritual gifts, so I teach you according to your own strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
So how you meditate may be different than how I meditate. There's more than one way to meditate. And maybe you have music, maybe I don't have music.
Okay.
Maybe your meditation is more focused on peace, whereas my meditation may be focused on receiving answers from my spirit guides.
Okay.
You know, there's different ways to meditate, but then there's also walking meditation, open eye meditations. There's coloring there's so many different ways of meditating. So
Well,
that's
now,
how I
now
teach people.
explain the open eye thing, because I'm one of those type of people. I got a hard problem sitting in the room, my eyes closed. I'm from the hood, but I ain't no more. I'm just saying I grew up that way. So I ain't good at sitting in the room with my eyes closed and being still. What is open eye meditation? Is that kind of like daydreaming, or is that just really my eyes is open, but I'm more in than out.
Well, so within each category that I just said, there's also many categories within that. So
Okay.
one example of an open eye meditation is scrying. So scrying is, I'm sure you've done this when you were a child. Most people listening, I'm sure, have done this. If you lay down on the ground, look up at the clouds, and then you start seeing things in the clouds.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay,
That's a form of scrying. It's called cloud scrying.
Okay.
If you're if you're psychic and you like to look into a crystal ball, that does actually work. It's not just for the movies. That's a form of scrying as well.
So but the crystal ball is just a focus point, right? It's not
Right. It's a
okay.
focus point, and your intuition is doing the rest.
I got
Your spirit is doing the rest, but sending those messages to your third eye and to your consciousness.
Yeah, because I my daughter's into the Harry Potter thing, and I'm not really into that, but I was into
Yeah.
some books. It was like chaos magic, and the biggest thing about it was it's all really mental, and it's really
All of it
about
is.
making your intentions come about.
Yeah.
But the robes and the wands and all, it's just it's a way to make you focus and
Yeah.
make it more real for you.
Exactly. That's just a wand, because I use wands as well. And a wand is just simply to direct your energy. And the reason why it has a point at the end is because energy flows towards a point always. And that's why you have crystals that also have points, because energy naturally flows towards that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if now how do you do this? Is this like a personal consultation type thing? Do you have an office and a practice? Like,
Yeah. So I have both. I have a practice where people can book a consultation for me,
Okay.
monicabay.com. And a plug. And then
That's all I was gonna get you.
right. And then I also have a university called Mystic University,
wow.
a school for the spiritually gifted.
Okay.
And I do live classes on there, and also on-demand courses that people can get that will train them and help them evolve spiritually.
Now, what are some of those type of things? Because it's funny. A lot of this stuff kind of goes down to terminology. Because I know some other churches, they kind of teach a lot of this stuff in it,
Mhm.
and they talk in the realm of miracles and
Right.
this type of thing, which they really talking the same stuff.
Right, exactly.
But how does it kind of work out with the classes? Are you like, is it more so teaching me to trust what my ability is, or is it more so saying, no, this is how you focus and do this?
It's both. So I help people. It depends on the course that they take, right? Some courses are focused on just going within and healing. And then some courses are focused on actually developing psychic ability and different things like that. And so what I do is I help people both go within and figure out what's going on and what their gifts and their strengths and weaknesses are. That's a big thing. Is I love to do strength and weakness assessments.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, so that they can really understand what they're working with, and then based on those, then they can develop their own skills.
I bet your house so serene. I bet you just walk in, it's like
It
plants
is.
and flowing water. There's just waterfalls there.
It is
Like a resort.
minus the waterfalls.
Once again, plug yourself one more time.
Okay.
If anybody want to get in contact with you, if they want to work with you, or if they want to learn how to advance their spiritual gifts, how can somebody get in contact with you?
So they can get in contact with me at monicabay.com. And also, if anyone's interested in their spiritual gifts, to work one-on-one with me would be monicabay.com. You can
Wow.
also go to mysticuniversity.net. And I've also recently started a new TV network
Wow,
called
okay.
Mystic Circle TV.
Definitely. We're going to have to get together, because like I told you, I've got some friends and some clients over at the Oasis Center, and we're putting together this community of wellness, Reiki therapy,
Mhm.
astrology. We just bringing all this stuff under one house for our community.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
definitely, we're going to talk after this.
Yes. That's awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been another exciting #1 rated business show with your host, KC Pride. We will be back next week, same time, same place, right here on the Real 1100 AM and iHeartRadio. As always, follow me on Instagram at I am KC Pride, and keep hitting me up. And you know who you are. Stay out of my DMs, because I don't want none of that. Anyway, I'll see y'all next week. Holla.